What is up, YouTube? My name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka Wakanda Snatch One, because I got playing around. As you can tell by the title of the video, this is my WWE Raw review and highlights. Jacob Fatu attack Roman Reigns on WWE Raw. That's the title of the video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning. So if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for more rest of content that I do on the channel, because I'm on the road to 11K before the end of May. Follow all my social media down below in the description, and let's get started. Now, WWE Raw was a pretty good show, and I had to give it a 6 out of 10. WWE Raw was live from Laredo, Texas, Sam's Auto Arena. Commentary tonight with Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Then Now Forever Together, the WWE video leads us into the show. Video package. Last week on Raw, Jacob Fatu challenged World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns to a title match at WWE Backlash. Roman Reigns says he would make his decision on next week Raw, which is tonight. Video package. World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns is seated in a room with his cousins, the Usos. Roman Reigns says the past is the past, but they're always blood. He doesn't understand where Jacob Fatu is coming from. Everyone had 2 years to take advantage of him while he took a backseat. He procrastinated, so Roman Reigns came back and beat CM Punk. Jimmy Uso doesn't disagree with Roman Reigns, but he does agree with Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu wants to upgrade his household, but not at Roman Reigns' expense. Jey Uso says Jacob Fatu is dangerous. They'll watch him drop people one by one. They left him out there for a reason. If Jacob Fatu beats Roman Reigns, he'll take it all. He'll take it all. The title, the Ula fam, the Ula follow, everything. This is it. It can't be all about respect. Jey Uso says there had to be consequences. Roman Reigns is the tribal chief. Roman Reigns ponders and says consequences. They are not doing charity. He'll address this later tonight. Roman Reigns appreciates the Usos. Jey and Jimmy Uso shake hands. Jey Uso says families first. Roman Reigns puts his hand over there and says the first family. So we'll go to backstage segment. Jacob Fatu is showing seated backstage thinking about what could happen tonight. So we get Seth Rollins addresses Braun Breaker. Burning it down. Seth Rollins makes his way to the ring. We played last week on Raw. Seth Rollins attacked Braun Breaker from behind with a steel chair, splitting him wide open. The Street Profits came to Seth Rollins' aid to fight off Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Still, Braun Breaker got the better of Seth Rollins with a spear. Seth Rollins, dressed in black, stand in the center of the ring as the loud Laredo crowd sings his song. Seth Rollins shouts, "Laredo, Texas, welcome to Monday Night Raw." He is a revolutionary. He is a visionary. He is Seth freaking Rollins. Seth Rollins says he has a lot of ground to cover tonight. There is a reason he lost to Gunther at WrestleMania 42, and it's not because Gunther was better than him on that night. There is a reason why Roman Reigns is walking around with his World Heavyweight Championship, and it is not because Roman Reigns pinned his shoulders to the mat. The reason for those things is one and the same. Braun Breaker. Seth Rollins knows Braun Breaker is in the back with 9 staples in the back of his head, but they got business to attend to and a score to settle. So Braun Breaker can bring his pea-brain out here to finish it. Braun Breaker heads to the ring with WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman and towel. Braun Breaker gets in the ring and intensely stares at Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins stares back at him. Paul Heyman looks on from the background. Braun Breaker gets closer as Seth Rollins brings the microphone up to his mouth. Seth Rollins says he gave Braun Breaker everything. He gave Braun Breaker the world on a silver platter, and he repaid Seth Rollins by taking everything away from him. Braun Breaker is the reason he had to forfeit the World Heavyweight Champion, why he didn't main event at WrestleMania, and why he lost at WrestleMania. What did Braun Breaker get out of it? How did it benefit him? Paul Heyman puts Braun Breaker back on. Paul Heyman puts Braun Breaker back, but he then gives him the microphone and tells him to let it off his chest. Braun Breaker asks what Seth Rollins really gave him, and Bronson Reed. Every week they were like his errand boys, fighting all of Seth Rollins' battles, and fires out. Seth Rollins had no friends. Seth Rollins is nothing. Seth Rollins needs them to fight all his battles. For what? Every week? For what? Every week, Seth Rollins would kick off the show while they had to stand in the background. As Seth Rollins regulated the same crap every week. Braun Breaker does a spot-on impression of Seth Rollins' opening lines. Braun Breaker says he never needed Seth Rollins or his visions. The only reason they're standing here is that Braun Breaker needed Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman chuckles. Seth Rollins incredulously asks why Braun Breaker needed that dry up sack of meat. Seth Rollins says Braun Breaker proved everything that he thought about him. A few years ago, Seth Rollins wanted to fight the best in the world. Seth Rollins called Shawn Michaels to fight his best. Shawn Michaels told him Braun Breaker was the best, so Seth Rollins agrees to fight him last year. Paul Heyman asks about taking Braun Breaker under his ring, and Seth Rollins couldn't wait. Only a year under his true leg, Braun Breaker could be the biggest star in this industry. Seth Rollins has been here for 14 years and seen athletes come from everywhere. Braun Breaker is unique. He's the strongest, fastest, and most versatile superstar he's seen. Braun Breaker has everything he needs to be the biggest star of the industry. Everything except the most important thing. Seth Rollins knows what it's like to be a 20-year-old cat full of piss and vinegar, thinking the business owns you something. Seth Rollins knows what it's like to bet on yourself and make the hard decisions people won't be happy with. The difference between them is that Braun Breaker tried and Seth Rollins succeeded. Every time Seth Rollins bet on himself, it ended with a main event or world champion. Braun Breaker bet on himself and got Austin Theory and Logan Paul. He got steak dinners and happy endings from Paul Heyman. Seth Rollins says Braun Breaker is not ready. Braun Breaker asks that if the narrative he really wants to go with. Braun Breaker was well on his way to the main event with or without Seth Rollins. He didn't need Seth Rollins' help. Seth Rollins' body can't handle the title. His mind is too brittle, and his shoulders can't handle the weight of the pressure anymore. Yeah, Braun Breaker took his shot at the World Heavyweight Champion and came up short, but he can't put his head. Where was I? It said, but he can put his head on his pillow, knowing he lost to the best in the world instead of someone claiming to be it. Seth Rollins has the accolade and championships. He's a first bailout WWE Hall of Famer. Seth Rollins is the very best professional wrestler in the entire world at being number 2. Seth Rollins calls him Baby Steiner and says that was good. Did he do that on his own, or did he call Big Papa Pump for his hookup? Seth Rollins says if Braun Breaker thinks he's ready, then Backlash is in 2 weeks. Seth Rollins will give him the opportunity to prove he's ready. Seth Rollins will let Braun Breaker in on a little secret. Braun Breaker isn't even number 2 in his family. Seth Rollins tosses the microphone to Paul Heyman and walks off. This was a good promo to kick off Monday Night Raw between Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Pre-show arrivals. Bailey and Lyra Kira are shown entering the arena. They'll battle Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Joe Hendry is shown warming up for his concert later tonight. WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch is shown leaving her tour bus. Stephanie McKira is walking backstage when Raquel Rodriguez blindsides her. Women's World Champion Liv Morgan watches as Roxanne Perez drives a roll crate into Stephanie McKira's body. Liv Morgan says this is her championship now. They walk off as the referee checks on Stephanie McKira. In the arena, WWE Intercontinental Champion Penta heads to the ring. He'll battle Rusev next. So we go to commercial break. Replay last week on Raw. Rusev helps All Ego Ethan Page defeated Javon Evans. Rusev attacked Javon Evans after the match until Penta came down to help. Ethan Page got involved again, so Rusev was able to take Penta out as well. So we get a non-title WWE Intercontinental Champion Penta versus Rusev. And this match right here, I ain't even gonna lie to you. Yeah. And this match right here, I might as well say this was not a bad match. I might as well say this was a pretty good match. So that's pretty good match. That's all I gotta say. All Ego Ethan Page heads to the ringside arena to watch this match. Rusev just stared at him. The bell rings and Rusev quickly takes Penta down with some strikes. Rusev hits a vertical suplex followed by a gut wrench suplex. Rusev hits a follow-away slam and stands on Penta. Rusev sends Penta into the ropes, but he lowers his head and eats a kick. Penta super kicks Rusev and hits a drop kick to him out of the ring. Penta connects with a toe con hilo. Ethan Page stands up from his chair and sarcastically claps for him. Penta gets in his face. Rusev goes for a back suplex on the floor, but Penta flips through and super kicks him. Penta kicks him in the ring and goes for a springboard, but Rusev kicks him out of midair, and Rusev hits a swinging side slam. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial break, Penta fights off a superplex attempt and punches Rusev down to the mat. Penta hits a diving crossbody block. Penta kicks him in the knee and hits a spinning facebuster. Penta hits Rusev with a snap kick before doing a handstand in the corner and coming down with a slingshot basement dropkick 1. Rusev kicks out. Rusev gets up and quickly knees Penta in the midsection. Rusev sends him to the corner, but Penta counters with a slingshot into a backstabber for a 2 count. Penta goes for a Mexican destroyer, but Rusev counters with a back body drop. Rusev kicks him and hits a Sambo suplex. Rusev sets up for a Machka kick and connects. Page politely claps as Rusev signals for the end. Penta gets out of an accolade and goes for a springboard, but he holds onto the ropes, knowing Rusev will attempt a Machka kick, but Penta quickly gets down and rolls Rusev up for the win. The winner by pinfall, the WWE Intercontinental Champion Penta. This was a pretty good match in my opinion. Rusev quickly attacks Penta as he celebrates. Ethan Page gets in the ring, but he thinks better of it. Penta fights back at Rusev, so Ethan Page attacks Penta from behind. Rusev stares at Page before they start double teaming Penta. Javon Evans runs down for the save. Javon Evans pulls the ropes down to get Rusev out of the ring. Javon Evans attacks Ethan Page. Penta hits Rusev before Javon Evans hits Rusev with a huge OG cutter. Penta and Javon Evans shake hands in the ring. Penta and Page are not happy. So you already know it's going to be a tag team match next week between Penta and Javon Evans versus Ethan Page and Rusev in a tag team match next week on Raw. Video package: Hulk Hogan Real American is streaming now on Netflix. Backstage segment: Los Americanos are showing El Gran Americanos says he'll be having the most important match in Lucha Libre history against the fake El Gran Americano. it will be mask versus mask. It's the biggest fight he's ever had. Americano will be ready to fight for his life, his name, and the colors. Way better. What better way to prepare for this challenge than to issue a challenge to the biggest lucha libre legend, Rey Mysterio? Americanos wants to face him tonight. The man has come around. WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch heads to the ring. We'll hear from her next, so we go to commercial break. Becky Lynch addresses what's next for her. Replay: last Saturday at WrestleMania 42, Becky Lynch drove AJ Lee into the exposed turnbuckle and pinned her to win the Women's Intercontinental Champion. WWE Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch says a lot of history was made at WrestleMania 42. She finally got rid of AJ Lee once and for all, ending her horrible title reign. Becky Lynch put gold around the waist of someone who truly deserves it. Herself, she became the first WWE superstar in history to win 4 different titles at WrestleMania. She became the first ever 3-time Women's Intercontinental Champion. She's won more WrestleMania matches than any woman in history. She'll be coming for Undertaker's record next. Yeah, that's what Becky Lynch said. She said she'll be coming for what was I? She said she will be coming. What was it? She said she will be coming. Yeah, here it is. She will be coming for Undertaker's record next. She's the greatest women's wrestler of all time. It's not just her saying it. Sports Illustrated and Bleach Reporter also says it. What happened after the match was even better at WrestleMania. She looked out and saw her baby girl in the front row. Becky Lynch took her and walked up the ramp with her. Becky Lynch wanted to show her what a real champion is. It's not about the private hotels, jets, and meals. It's about showing up in a rundown town like Laredo and showing up for common folk like them. They want her to be a fighting champion. They want her to defend the title against the best of the best, not just a nonchalant act. Becky Lynch stands as a man of the people. Becky Lynch issued an open challenge. She wants to welcome someone to the big time. Io Sky heads to the ring. Becky Lynch looks shocked, and Io Sky chant picks up. Io Sky says, "I accept." Becky Lynch smirks and asks what she's accepting. Becky Lynch says she wanted to fight the best of the best. Io Sky isn't that. The crowd boos Becky Lynch, but Becky Lynch thinks they're booing Io Sky, and the Io Sky chant picks up. Becky Lynch tries to stop them and says she understands that Io Sky is accepting on Rhea Ripley's behalf. Becky Lynch wants to be Becky 2-time belts again. Becky Lynch wants to fight Shawn Michaels, not Marty Jannetty. It's clear Io Sky was holding her back. Io Sky punches Becky Lynch in the face, so Becky Lynch quickly escapes to the ring. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce comes out and asks where Becky Lynch is going. Becky Lynch issue an open challenge. They're in Laredo, so they'll do this right now. Becky Lynch gets in the ring and attacks Io Sky from behind. So we go to commercial break. So we get the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship match. The man Becky Lynch versus Io Sky. Now this was a good match until Asuka came out of nowhere and just ruined it. So yeah, this was a good match. We joined this match in progress as Io Sky drop kicks Becky Lynch down. Becky Lynch reverses a whip to the corner. Io Sky goes for a slingshot, but Becky Lynch kicks her in the ribs and takes her down for a 2 count. Becky Lynch mocks Io Sky taunt and avalanches her in the corner before hitting a Bexploder. Becky Lynch rolls out of the ring to recover. Becky Lynch connects with a baseball slide before coming off the apron with a diving forearm. Becky Lynch gets her in the ring and goes for a second rope for a diving leg drop. 1-2, Io Sky kicks out. Becky Lynch strikes away at Io Sky, but Io Sky soon drops her with a German suplex. Becky Lynch slowly gets up, but Io Sky hits a back elbow and an elbow cut and a flapjack. Becky Lynch reverses a whip to the corner, but Io Sky twists to the apron. Io Sky snaps Becky Lynch arm off the top rope and heads to the top rope for a big missile drop kick. Io Sky pops up, getting the crowd going. Io Sky hits a bullet train attack in the corner and picks up a 2 count. Becky Lynch soon pulls Io Sky off the ropes and picks up a 2 count. Becky Lynch sets up for a manhandle slam, but Io Sky counters with a roll up into a double stomp. Becky Lynch rolls out of the ring to recover. Io Sky attempts a suicide dive, but Becky Lynch cuts her off with a forearm. Io Sky kicks her from the apron and goes for a sunset flip powerbomb to the floor. Becky Lynch holds on, but Io Sky pulls her off and hits a powerbomb on the floor. Commercial break. We return from the break to see Becky Lynch hit Io Sky with a superplex before pulling her up for a DDT. 1-2. Becky Lynch kicks out. Let me take a sip of my water. Alright. The crowd chants, "This is awesome." Becky Lynch attempts a manhandle slam, but Io Sky rolls her up for a 2 count. Becky Lynch ducks a kick, but Io Sky catches her on the rebound with a super kick. Io Sky hits a double underhook backbreaker and corners for a near fall. Io Sky heads to the top rope, but Becky Lynch cuts her off. Io Sky elbows her away and hits a tornado DDT before setting her up. Io Sky goes for it and over the moonsault, but Becky Lynch gets her boots up. Becky Lynch hits a moonsault slam. 1-2. Io Sky kicks out. Becky Lynch cannot believe it. Becky Lynch positions Io Sky near the corner and climbs the top rope. Io Sky knocks her to the floor and hits a moonsault. Io Sky gets Becky Lynch in the ring and takes off her shoe. All of a sudden, Asuka pulls her down. The referee missed this because she was checking on Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch grabs Io Sky and hits a manhandle slam for the win. The winner by pinfall is still your WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, Becky Lynch. The match was good, but Asuka just ruined it. You know what I'm saying? Asuka needs to mind her own business, and that's all I gotta say. Asuka gets in the ring and kicks Io Sky before applying an Asuka lock. Io Sky submits to the pain, but the referee can't do nothing. The referee finally pulls Asuka off. A "We Want Kairi Sane" chant picks up in support of the recently release of Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane is trending on Twitter, man. We Want Kairi Sane. Yeah, We Want Kairi Sane is trending on Twitter, so that's all I gotta say. I miss Kairi Sane. But Kairi Sane should never have been released from the WWE. And that's all I gotta say. But anyway, let me continue. Locker room segment. The original Grande Americano walks up to Rey Mysterio in the locker room. Americano says Rey Mysterio adores the bogus one. When he faces him in a mask versus mask match on May 30th, will he have to watch his back? Rey Mysterio says he just wants them to respect Lucha Libre. Los Americanos walked in and get into an argument. Rey Mysterio says he's not choosing sides. Los Americanos seemingly threatens Rey Mysterio, displeasing him, so they back off. Backstage interview. Byron Saxton is backstage with Jimmy and Jay Uso. They know what direction Roman Reigns is going in? LA Knight interrupts them and cannot believe they're sitting at Roman Reigns' table again. Jay Uso became World Heavyweight Champion on his own. Jimmy Uso has tons of potential, but he'll never get there with Roman Reigns. Jay Uso warns LA Knight to stay in his lane. Jimmy Uso says this is family business. LA Knight says the bloodline had an immense power, but it interfered with LA Knight, so it became his business. Yeah. World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns will make his decision on Jacob Fatu backlash decision later tonight. So we go to commercial break. So we get Joe Hendry concert, and this segment right here, I didn't really care about this segment that much. So yeah, I did not really care about this segment that much. But it says Joe Hendry is seated in the ring with his song. He had a big decision to make, so he made a song about it. I won the title everywhere I go. I've been on WrestleMania and many other shows, but the time has come for me to pick one brand. I'm sorry to the others. I hope they understand. Joe Hendry on Raw. Raw, Joe Hendry signs to Raw. Raw, Joe Hendry signs to Raw. Next time you turn on Netflix, you won't just want to chill. I have you believing in a better kind of thrill. Joe Hendry's on Raw. Respect to the ruler. Acknowledging the OTC. But Adam Pearce, if you're listening, you can make one change for me. Excuse me. That's Logan Paul. Paul, can we fire Logan Paul? Joe Hendry gets the crowd singing that final hook. World Tag Team Champions Logan Paul and Austin Theory came out. Logan Paul is fired up. Logan Paul screams that he can't not be fired. Logan Paul says the people are awful, like Joe Hendry's song. Logan Paul heard it was Joe Hendry's first night on Raw, but it's also his last. Joe Hendry made the biggest mistake of his life. Austin Theory says Joe Hendry isn't seeing this right. They have gold, which makes them the greatest tag team champions of the world and universe. Austin Theory says there are winners. Joe Hendry asks the crowd if they're winners, but they disagree. Joe says no to that. He saw ESPN and WrestleMania. All he sees are prime time losers. They throw Joe Hendry's music equipment out of the ring. Austin Theory says the mat and the camera belong to the Vision. The Vision goes through everybody. They're going to go through Joe Hendry. Austin Theory shoves Joe Hendry, but Joe Hendry turns around and clotheslines Austin Theory. Joe Hendry tackles Logan Paul in the corner, but Austin Theory quickly runs interference. The Street Profits run down for the save. Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford quickly clears the ring of Logan Paul before hitting Austin Theory with a double team powerbomb / neckbreaker combo. Montez Ford goes to the top rope, but Logan Paul pulls Austin Theory out of the ring. Joe Hendry then takes the Vision out with a flop. The Street Profits gets the crowd waving for Joe Hendry. Backstage segment: Raw General Manager Adam Pearce is being accused by Grayson Waller about his lack of opportunities. Grayson Waller complains that Overfamily beat Brock Lesnar at the end of his career. He's overrated. Overfamily was standing behind Grayson Waller. Overfamily wants Grayson Waller tonight. Grayson Waller is not happy. WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio heads to the ring. Commercial break. Backstage segment. The Street Profits are singing Joe Hendry's Fire Logan Paul song alongside Joe Hendry. They shake hands with him and Joe Hendry walks off. Seth Rollins walks up to them. They tell him last week wasn't about him and walks off before Seth Rollins can say anything. Alright, so we get Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Coming by loss Americanos, Bravo Americano and Rey Americano. I might as well say this was a good match in my opinion. They lock up and Rey Mysterio twists out, does a backflip using the ropes and walks the arm. Americano works the arm. Americano takes him down and applies his side headlock. Americano tries to pin Rey Mysterio's shoulder to the mat, but he bridges out. Americano goes to jump on him, but Rey Mysterio core strength is a sight to behold. Rey Mysterio Rey Mysterio hits a head scissors takeover. They soon wind up in a stalemate. Rey Mysterio claps for him. Americano goes for a handshake, which Rey Mysterio obliges. Rey Mysterio kicks him. Americano fights back and applies a hammerlock. Rey Mysterio elbows him in the jaw and hits a snapmare. Rey Mysterio hits a head scissor in the ropes. Rey Mysterio sets up for a 619, but Americano cuts him off with a flying kick for a 2 count. So we go to commercial break. Back from commercial, Americano reverses a whip to the corner and slaps Rey Mysterio in the face. Americano sends him into the opposite corner, but Rey Mysterio boots him away. Rey Mysterio climbs the ropes, but Americano cuts him off. Rey Mysterio slides off his shoulders and hits a moonsault block into a tornado DDT for a 2 count. Rey Mysterio drop kicks Americano into position. Bravo Americano trips Rey Mysterio as Rey Americano distracts the referee. Rey Americano puts the metal plate into the Americano's mask. Rey Mysterio hits him with a 619. Americano avoids a slingshot splash and goes to put the plate back into his mask. The original El Grande Americano runs down to stop him. Rey Mysterio attacks Americano before hitting him with a 619 and a slingshot splash for the win. The winner by pinfall, Rey Mysterio. This was a good match. Rey Mysterio picks up the steel plate and tells OG Americano that he cannot use this. Rey Mysterio puts the plate in his tights and walks off. OG Americano gets in the ring and attacks the Americanos. Fight until the OG Americano gets in the ring and attacks the Americanos. Fights until WWE officials run down to break them up. Okay. Highlights of the night. Last Friday on SmackDown, Jacob Fatu defeated Solo Sikoa. After the match, the MFT attacked Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu viciously destroyed them. Backstage segment. Jacob Fatu is pacing backstage, awaiting Roman Reigns' decision. Next Saturday at WWE Backlash, Seth Rollins will battle Braun Breaker. We'll also see Io Sky take on. We'll also see What was I? Oh yeah, it says we also see Io Sky versus Asuka. That's it. So next Saturday at WWE Backlash, Seth Rollins will battle Braun Breaker. We'll also see Io Sky take on Asuka. Alright. Video package. Asuka will tell Io Sky when they're done. She is still Io Sky's senpai. All Io Sky has done is disappoint her for so long. She blamed herself for Io Sky's mistake. She thought she did something wrong, but she knows that Io Sky is the problem. Io Sky is ungrateful, selfish, and Asuka's biggest failure. Io Sky failed her and the family. They both alone. Io Sky doesn't want another. Asuka doesn't want another Io Sky. She spared Io Sky because she wanted a family, but Io Sky killed that. Nothing will stop Asuka from destroying her now. At Backlash, she'll fix her failure and teach Io Sky one final lesson. Io Sky is not and will never be ready for Asuka. So we go to commercial break. Oba Femi walks backstage dressed to compete. He'll face Grayson Waller next. So we go to commercial break. So we get Grayson Waller versus the ruler Oba Femi. The referee is Jessica Carr, and this was a squash match. The bell rings and Grayson Waller tries for a kick, but Oba Femi easily blocks it and clotheslines him down. Oba Femi throws Grayson Waller into the corner and hits some big right hands. Oba Femi hits a running elbow on Grayson Waller before avalanching him twice. Grayson Waller goes to the apron and snaps Oba Femi off the top top rope. Grayson Waller goes for a rolling thunder, but Obafemi grabs him and throws him away. Obafemi hits a running uppercut before hitting a massive fall from Grace for the win. The winner by pinfall, the Ruler Obafemi. This was a squash match, but I'm glad Obafemi won. The Ruler Obafemi asks Laredo, Texas, if they feeling good. Obafemi is feeling good. Grace Waller isn't feeling good, but no one cares. The one thing he agrees with Grace Waller on is that there are no opportunities. The champions already have challengers, and the U.S. champion doesn't do open challenges. Starting today, he's hosting the Obafemi Open Challenge. Obafemi will be merciless and punish them. They'll be stepping into the ring with the Ruler Obafemi. Obafemi pose in the ring. But like I said, when I saw Obafemi beat Brock Lesnar and make Brock Lesnar retire from WWE, Obafemi is the next big thing. And I would love to see Obafemi versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Champion. And that's all I gotta say. That would be my dream match right there. Alright, let me continue. The Judgment Day Clubhouse. Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne Perez are gloating about beating up Stephanie McCure. Liv Morgan asks if she can have a moment alone with Roxanne Perez. Liv Morgan says she wants to finish the conversation they had before WrestleMania 42. When they were attacked, Liv Morgan says Finn Balor brought her in, but they're a family. Finn Balor puts himself before the family. Liv Morgan will be in Roxanne Perez's corner to cheer her on. Liv Morgan asks Roxanne Perez if she trusts her. Roxanne nods her head, but then she says she needs a second. Liv Morgan agrees and walks off. Finn Balor sneaks up on Roxanne Perez. Finn Balor warns Roxanne Perez not to trust Liv Morgan or anyone in the Judgment Day. Roxanne Perez asks if she can't trust them or him. She's with the Judgment Day. She warns him to get out before he gets hurt. Finn Balor wishes her luck with her match and hopes she knows what she's doing. Now I can already tell something is fishy going on with the Judgment Day. But I know that Roxanne Perez wants to turn on Liv Morgan. And that's going to happen soon. So I think that Roxanne Perez is going to turn on Liv Morgan and sides with Finn Balor. And that's all I got to say. Lyra, Kira, and Bayley head to the ring. They'll face the Judgment Day next. So we'll go to commercial break. So we'll get a tag team match. Bayley and Lyra Kira versus the Judgment Day with Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, accompanied by the Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. Roxanne Perez got a standing ovation by the crowd. The crowd was loud tonight. Alright. Bayley will start against Raquel Rodriguez. Michael Cole announces that Stephanie McCure's shoulder is injured and will be out for a bit. Bayley boots Raquel Rodriguez back and applies a side headlock. Raquel Rodriguez blocks a takedown, but Bayley used the ropes to hit the takedown. Raquel Rodriguez hits a back suplex, and We Want Rocky chant picks up. Roxanne Perez tags in, and her hometown crowd goes crazy. The crowd chants Roxy. Bayley slams Roxanne Perez into the corner and tags Lyra Kira into the booth. Lyra Kira applies his side headlock, but Roxanne Perez turns it on her. Roxanne Perez cartwheels away and shows up Lyra Kira before slapping her in the face. Lyra Kira takes her down to boots from the crowd. Roxanne Perez goes for a head scissors, but Lyra Kira lands on her feet and slaps Roxanne Perez in the face. Bayley tags in, and there is some miscommunications. Bayley is actually waving Roxanne Perez over to get out of the double team attempt for someone. Like Bayley, who has been doing this for a decade. Just go with the flow and fix it later. Stopping everything to reset is brush league. Moments like that kill a match. When the match is reminding you it's scripted. It's hard to buy into anything that follows. The heels go over the babyface as we go to commercial break. So we go to commercial break. Back from the break, the Judgment Day hit Lyra Kill with the double team. 1-2, Bailey breaks it up with an elbow drop. Roxanne Perez takes it to Bailey and goes for pop rock, but Bailey gets out. Bailey hits the Bailey to belly, but Raquel Rodriguez breaks up the pin. Lyra Kill takes Raquel Rodriguez out. Liv Morgan gets on the apron, so Bailey attacks. Roxanne Perez hits Bailey with the Shining Wizard, followed by a pop rock with the win. The winner by pinfall, the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Now this was a fun tag team match, but you already know the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day always cheats to win. That's all I gotta say. Let's move on. I just want the Judgment Day to break up, and that's all I gotta say. Video package: Saruka highlight reel. Next week on Raw, Saruka will officially sign with Raw. World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns heads to the ring. So we go to commercial break. Roman Reigns makes his decision. Roman Reigns makes his backlash decision. World Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns stands in the ring and listens to the crowd singing to him. Roman Reigns says it's been a while since he's been in Texas, but they love their tribal chief. And OTC champ picks up. They made this title in spite of him. They made this title to try to take away his shine, but never worked. There's an old saying: the title don't make the man makes the title. That's exactly what he's done with this strap. Roman Reigns put it on the main event on night 2 of WrestleMania 42. Roman Reigns made this title relevant. Now you can finally be proud of this title. Now you can respect this title. Now you can actually choose to acknowledge this title. Roman Reigns wants to demonstrate. Roman Reigns says, Laredo, Texas, and OTC champ fires up. Laredo, Texas, acknowledge me. The crowd cheers him. Jacob Fatu interrupts and heads to the ring. Roman Reigns puts his head down. Jacob Fatu gets in the ring, and Roman Reigns says he has perfect timing because he was just getting to him. He gave Jacob Fatu a week and time to think. Roman Reigns hopes that Jacob Fatu made the right choice to unite their family rather than divide it. Jacob Fatu says he don't need a week, a day, or an hour to think about it. Jacob Fatu knew exactly what he wanted when he came out last week. He didn't stutter or hesitate. He doesn't want the title. He needs it. Roman Reigns is stuck in his main event bubble. Roman Reigns has never grinded as he has. 12 years of hard work, grinding and suffering. When they were running the bloodline, he was broke, fuming at the mouth, grinding on the front line, trying to figure out whether he'll be here or not. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. That's got him standing before Roman Reigns. Before WWE, no one called him Solo. Solo called him and put him on. Roman Reigns is confused and says Jacob Fatu may be dumber than he thinks. Solo Sikoa couldn't get a cup of coffee delivered if he wanted to. Who does Jacob Fatu thinks runs this place? And OTC champ picks up. Roman Reigns says Laredo is in line. The OTC runs this place. Roman Reigns has been distracted, but he never forgot about Jacob Fatu. Roman Reigns still signs off on Jacob Fatu's you know what. Jacob Fatu doesn't deserve and hasn't earned it. This nepotism, if Roman Reigns allows that. Jacob Fatu grabs Roman Reigns and puts him in a tongue gun death grip. Roman Reigns hits him with the microphone, but Jacob Fatu shakes it off and puts the tongue gun death grip back on. back on him. Jacob Fatu says he'll take everything from Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns grabs for air as Jacob Fatu picks up the World Heavyweight Championship. Jacob Fatu throws it onto Roman Reigns and walks off. Roman Reigns weakly grabs a microphone and calls after Jacob Fatu. Roman Reigns shouts, Jacob Fatu, you want me at Backlash? I'll see you at Backlash. Jacob Fatu, who has a busted lip, and says he'll see Roman Reigns next week on Monday. Alright. Yo, that was a good segment. That was a good closing segment between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. But you already know that Roman Reigns is going to retain the World Heavyweight Championship at Backlash. So Jacob Fatu has no choice to acknowledge Roman Reigns. So that's all I gotta say. So let me read you guys this quick match results. WWE Intercontinental Champion Penta defeated Rusev in a non-title match. The Man Becky Lynch defeated Io Sky to retain the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, which is Jessica Carl should have been the referee in that match. Rey Mysterio defeated El Grande Americano. The Ruler Open Family defeated Grayson Waller in the squash match. The Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defeated Bayley and Lyra Kara in a tag team match. I just want the Judgment Day to break up, and that's all I gotta say. It's either Raquel or Roxanne Perez turn on Liv Morgan. But I just cannot wait for Money in the Bank, man, at the Backlash. So it's either Roxanne Perez or Raquel Rodriguez wins Women's Money in the Bank to cash in on Liv Morgan at SummerSlam. But anyway, WWE Raw goes off the air. And let me get my very honest opinion about what I think about WWE Raw. Now, WWE Raw was a pretty good show, and I give this a 6 out of 10. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE Raw review and highlights, make sure you guys please watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning or towards the end. If you are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for more wrestling content that I do on the channel, because I'm on the road to 11K before the end of May. Follow all my socials down below in the description. I will see you guys tomorrow for my WWE NXT review and highlights. Even though that NXT is not the same how it was, and that's all I gotta say, man. And go check out make sure what was I? Yeah. Oh yeah, make sure you guys go check out my Aleister Black and every other superstar got released by WWE and TKO. The Writers in the Room and WWE and TKO Sucks video. I did that video yesterday, and that's all I gotta say from here. But tomorrow, I will be going live on Twitch for some Mortal Kombat, and that's all I gotta say on Twitch. So yeah, I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to my WWE Raw review and highlights. Thank you guys so much for all the love of support. And share, like the video, share this video with your friends and family, and tell them I'm on the road to 11K before the end of May. Like I said, I got 3 days to. I cannot wait for Invincible Versus drop this Thursday. So when Invincible Versus drop this Thursday, I will be going live on Twitch Thursday for some Invincible Versus to show you guys some gameplay. And that's all I gotta say from here. And we about to have some fun. But anyway, I will see you guys tonight on my brand new world premiere for my WWE Raw review and highlights at around 5 o'clock a.m. right here on my YouTube channel. Tell your friends to subscribe to my channel, because I deserve way more subscribers on YouTube. I'm trying to get to 11K before the end of May. So I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Love yourself. Treat yourself. Don't let nobody tell you different, because everybody is amazing within the YouTube community. Alright, enough of that. I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Bullet Squad, Too Sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too Sweet. Gang.